All exercises can be modified. Do your best, and your best gets better. Do your best, no more, no less.
All right, let's get it warmed up. Switching directions. Yeah, I know you're looking forward to it, though. All right, man. Big hug. Open it up.
We were about ready to come do the class at your house.
We missed you.
We did. Yeah, she's not awake yet.
We'll get you back.
Yeah, I know. I know.
From the pelvis. Rock it.
Ben's not gonna be my friend anymore.
Rock forward.
You hit it on that just like this. On the bill text.
Side bend. Rotation. Lead with your eyes. Push that rotation. Lead with your eyes. Push that rotation. Keep that going. If you guys follow along on the class plan, workout 1, forward head correction. So anybody, bigger picture, realizing like, so part of all the classes, they rotate through prehab and rehab, which is correcting and preventing chronic problems of the neck and the shoulders and the back and the knees. So forward head correction, if it's not obvious, most of us tend to carry our head and shoulders forward rather than up on top of our body and shoulders back. So some of the exercises in here today are working on getting the shoulders back in the right place, getting the head back in the right place, kicking your butt. Hip rotation. Michelle, besides your class plan, you get to see what we're talking about today? Good to great. Or great to getting better. Push it out to the side.
All right.
Curb your enthusiasm.
Yes.
All right, take your time. Press those knees up slowly. So on there. High knees, slowly from standing. For you guys that are following along on the class plan there, if something on there, if the name or the description isn't obvious, like say that, or and if especially, well, if you say that, you got to have a better idea too. All right, cardio running in place. Yeah, so Michelle, but really everybody. So the idea is good to great, or great and getting better, and fill in the blank. I want to be a better. I want to be better at health and fitness. I want to be a better mom, a better grandmother, a better wife, better at work, better at business, anything like that. Next one on there is active doorway stretch. So for you guys, especially I'm going to be teaching it, to remember, what does that mean when I see that? That really comes from when we do this one. It's from the idea of standing in a doorway and really, like, that's on the jam and that's on the jam, and you're stepping through the doorway and working it that way. We don't have a doorway for all of us. That's, you know. But also, not only that, but by doing it out here without the doorway, you're also working your own muscles against your own muscles. So that's where that comes from. So again, up tall, straight. Squeeze those together, stretch it up tall, slide, excuse me, slide those shoulder blades apart. And then every time you go back, strong core, go further back and down with the shoulders, stretch the body up tall. Every way, all the way through that, elbows and shoulders level, hands and elbows go together. Michelle, what's on the top of your list that you would want to talk about and want to get better at?
Probably just fitness.
All right. Next one on the class plan, downward dog repetitions. Every exhale. Continue your exhale, continue turning your tailbone up to the ceiling and drive your chest and shoulders to the toes with the idea of getting a straight line from your wrist to your butt. Again, every time, exhale, continue your exhale, continue turning your tailbone up to the ceiling, drive your chest and shoulders to your toes. Working on getting a straight line from your wrist to your butt. On the turning your tailbone up to the ceiling, I'm sure some of you guys get that cue, and I'm sure there's people out there that are just lifting their butt up and lifting their hips up. So really think about that. Like if you think about your tailbone, you're really rocking the pelvis so that your tailbone continues to turn up to the ceiling to really get that back straightened out.
I'm sore.
Success!
2 days in a row.
All right, stand up. So next one on the class plan is elbow push back, straight, up tall. That's this one. So cross, which one? Cross them on top, switch which one's on top each time. Push, push, push those across. Slide the shoulder blades apart as far as you can. Stretch it up tall with a nice long exhale. Every time you go back, strong core. Really feel your core work against those shoulders. Further with the shoulders, stretch it up tall. So, Michelle, tell us about the difference of living with intention or not. And I would say you've already improved that greatly, and we can always, yes, maybe we're going from good to great, maybe we're going from great to great and getting better. And I would say you are doing great and getting better, really, with that one. So tell us, like, a year ago, 2 years ago, you probably would have said the same thing. I'd like to get better at fitness.
Right.
But you weren't living with intention. You are living with intention now. You get to boot camp every day. You got 5Ks on the schedule, obstacle course on the schedule. You're taking swimming lessons. You're doing stuff like triumph. So you're definitely living with intention now towards, I want to be better fitness-wise.
Yes. I agree. Oh, man. Oh.
Yeah, guys, if you want to turn those fans on, turn them on all the way.
Since this morning.
All right, guys, check in with those abs and that core. Leg raises. that going. So really adding to that intention of better fitness, you are you're starting the intern program as an instructor. So awesome.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that was definitely not been on the radar ever.
Yeah.
But my friends pushed me, I would have suggested that model.
Good for them. Good for you. All right. Go ahead. Stand it up. Next one there is neck flexion and extension. Some of you guys got it, but especially you guys teaching. Full body or even neck. So flexion is going, anybody know? Yeah. Forward is flexion, back is extension. So yeah, straight, up tall, tilt the head forward, open up the back of the neck, stretch it up tall. Upper chest is open, shoulders back and down. Every other exhale, keep it going on your own. So extension is going back, so tilt the head back while you stretch your face, upper chest up to the ceiling, open up the front of the neck, shoulders back and down. Keep that going. Michelle, I don't really have anything in mind, because I really do think you're going awesome on that one. Is there any way you are aware or can think of that you can increase your intention towards being more physically fit?
Probably not in the state.
Yep, which has greatly improved, and so to stay on top of that. Anything specific with that?
My emotions.
Just continue to master your emotions. Remember that they're calls to action. Listen to them and figure it out. Do what you need to do. Yeah. I've come a long way with that, and I'll be practicing that the rest of my life. All right, next one on there is twist as cardio. So,
I'll probably be in that same boat.
hopefully everybody is.
I think the thing about the intention part is it's easy to just go.
Coast through life. Eh,
Intention is you have to actually be active and making that decision. And most of my life is coaching, so.
All right. Good. All right. Next one on there is shoulder rotation 1. So if you're guys following along, there's 5 of those. And so if you've been here, you're familiar with them, but just to make sure you guys that are going to be teaching it. So real quick, just an overview. 1 is by your side, 2 is down at a 45, 3 is straight out, 4 is at a 45 up, and 5 is really straight. So 1, straight, up tall, with your arms by your sides, work on that shoulder rotation. So roll those shoulders in as tight as you can, pack them down as tight as you can, stretched up tall. Roll those shoulders back as much as you can, pack them down as tight as you can. Strong core, go further with the shoulders, stretch up tall. Towards what you just said, and I was going to put up there. So, if you're really living with intention, how much comfort and ease are you going to have?
I mean, I don't know that you should have comfort in
That's the answer. Yeah. And yes, do we want to be comfortable at times and comfortable in ways? But if our big overriding goal, and a lot of times it is in our culture by default, is comfort and ease, None of that's gonna happen. All right, next one on there is cardio blast, foot fire rate, bicep curl. Yeah, so if you want to be great at anything, if you want to live with intention, yeah, there's not going to be much comfort and ease. It's really get comfortable being uncomfortable. And have the wisdom of when something uncomfortable is a bad thing and when something uncomfortable is growing and contributing. Right. Shoulder rotation 2, so straight up tall with the arms down at a 45 all the way through. Roll them in tight, pack them down tight, stretch the body up tall, nice long exhale on your own, keep it going. Every time, strong core, go further with the shoulders. Roll them back as tight as you can, pack them down as tight as you can, stretch the body up tall, nice long exhale. Michelle, why is compassion vital to be great at anything?
Why?
Yeah.
You have to understand what the journey is, or the struggle and all that. If you don't have compassion, then you're just going to good,
Yeah. Is getting great at anything all me?
No.
No. It's people.
I thought that too. If you don't have compassion on there.
What did I write?
It's just spelled it.
All right.
It's not some
That's it.
The
All right.
teacher is coming out.
Hey, good. Thank you. I gotta ask Debbie and Dee if they can pay me a blackboard with spell check. I don't want a digital one. I want one like that. This is spell check. Yeah. Or a half spell check right here. All right, dip and table is on there. So bend those elbows, straighten those arms, bottom of your butt. Drive those up there. Bend those elbows, work the back of your arms, bottom of your butt, drive those hips up, put your head back, straighten that out as much as you can. Dip and table. What does it mean? Buddy? It's probably, yeah. It's probably the same root. Compassion. Next one, there's neck rotation. It's straight, up tall, lead to the chin. So anytime you're working your flexibility, your range of motion, play with where do I need to increase my strength at the same time? Where do I need to relax? It doesn't have to be a paradox. So being strong into that and knowing where to relax into that. Nice long exhale. All right, next one on there is table to wheel. So that's from table, if you can, that's coming up to here and then alternate sides. If you're not able to do that, reach as far as you can. Reach as far as you can. So if you can, work your table and then come up to a slow squat. Feet are flat. Alternating sides. If you need to just reach, just reach. And if anybody's wondering what's wheel 1 versus wheel 2 and wheel 3, my honest answer is I don't remember at this point. And you probably don't want to know what wheel 2 and wheel 3 are. Michelle, talk to me about how does contribution fall into that?
Well, if you're living in a intentional way, it's almost impossible to not be contributing in some way factor.
In my opinion, like a life well lived and a purpose, an ideal purpose is all about contribution. Now that said, it's not me, doesn't mean you're a martyr, but yes. How can you use your skills and your knowledge to best make the world a better place? All right. On a 1-leg squat, 3-leg in front, alternate. All right, shoulder rotation 3, so arms straight out by your side, straight up tall, roll those shoulders in as tight as you can, pack them down as tight as you can, stretch it up tall. Keep it going, strong core, really feel the core working against the shoulders, shoulders back as tight as you can, pack them down as tight as you can, stretch it up tall. Michelle, you ready to have a conversation with your future self? So, your 70-something-year-old you is looking back, having a conversation. What would she be very proud of right now? She's looking at you right now, you in the recent time. What would she be very proud of?
She wasn't afraid to take on the challenges at an older age.
All right. What would her advice, what would her biggest piece of advice be for you?
Don't stop.
So keep going with what you're doing? Yeah. Sounds good to me. Cardio blast squats. So maybe not go so deep, but move into those squats. All right, next thing on the plan, neck lateral bends. So straight up tall, upper chest is open, shoulders packed back and down. Every exhale, keep it going on your own. Ear to shoulder, jaw on the top, and the whole body stretched up tall. Really feel it open up the side of the neck. Every other exhale. Ear to shoulder, jaw, whole body stretches up tall. Upper chest open, shoulders back. Really drive through and open up the side of that neck. Next one on there, one-legged squat, three-leg going back. Alternate your best. Next thing on the board is freedom. So living in this country, you probably have more freedom than just about anybody. So in our lives, what restricts us the most? What restricts our freedom the most?
Fear.
Yeah, ourselves, our own fears, our own self-doubt, our own limiting beliefs. Shoulder rotation 4, so up at a 45 all the way through. So roll those shoulders in as tight as you can. Pack them down. In any of these, but especially here, make sure you're really feeling your lats or working on feeling your lats. Pull your shoulders down. So roll them in as tight as you can. Pack them down as tight as you can. Roll those back as tight as you can. Strong core. Feel the core working against the shoulders. Really feel those lats. Reminder, most people coming into boot camp have zero muscle activity in their lats, but somewhere between a couple of minutes and a couple of months of thinking about it, playing with it, and foam rolling it, all of a sudden you go, hey, wow, there's some flexion there, there's a muscle there. Yes, you will find your lats if you go to Triumph. Mountain climbers, softly on those feet. All right, good. Stand it up. Next one on there says neck in all 8 directions with the face straight ahead. So feet and knees straight ahead, bottom tall, upper chest open, shoulders back. So your head's up tall, your face stays straight ahead. Work into every side, every corner. Go ahead, take your time. To the corner, to the side, to the back corner. Keep it going on your own. Back, every corner, every side, as much as you can. Pain free. If any of those are stuck, you can play with them. If you need to, use your fingers on your neck to help you get there. You need to support your head to help you get there. And give yourself that support as long as you need to until the nervous system and the muscles get retrained and get that range of motion back. Michelle, on freedom, one way that I think about freedom is like, all right, I want to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. Now, how does that work with compassion? can I literally do, like if I had all the resources in the world, can I really do, all, like, without any limits, can I do what I want, with who I want, when I want, how I want? No, no, because there's other people that want to do the same thing. So, and if I want to have compassion and understanding and work with other people and contribute, yeah, there's going to be some reason to that, and some limits to that. But balancing that out, yeah, really, as much as I can with doing all the rest of that, work with who I want, when I want, how I want, do what I want. All right, next one on there is VOps. We'll vote.
All she said was, I better not say Tina's. Oh, I'm so sore, I don't know.
Shoulder rotation number 5, last one on the shoulder rotation. Straight, up tall, upper chest open. Elbows locked out. Keeping the elbows locked out, keeping the body straight, tall. Roll the shoulders in as tight as you can. Strong core. Back as far as you can, keeping the elbows locked out, body straight. Roll those shoulders out. Go as far as you can with your exhale. As much as you can with the elbows locked out and the body straight, tall. So Michelle, with living with intention and working towards more freedom of who I want to work with, where I want to work, what do I want to do, what does that mean to you? I won't show this video to your husband. And we're talking about work if he does see it.
I think happiness more contentment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so freedom and happiness and fulfillment all go together, I would say. We'll come back to that after grasshoppers.
All right.
So that could be step, or that could be in the air and jump. Land softly, your best. Keep that going, whether it's Michelle or anybody. Sometimes people have a tough time saying what they really do want, and big fine tuning that. But like we said, yeah, or saying it out loud. But a lot of times you can help by knowing what you don't want. Okay, what are you doing? Who you hang out with that you don't really want to be doing, and really reverse engineer that. All right, plank repetitions. How you doing back there? Was that? How were your grasshoppers?
Let's see. Plank, oh, plank, please.
Okay. Moving on. plank repetitions. All right, so every time, straighten the legs, draw the belly in tight, tuck the tailbone tight, pack those shoulders back and down, neck long, and bring it up. Keeping all that. So on your own, keep it going. Repetitions where every time, straighten your legs, draw your belly in tight, tuck your tailbone tight, pack the shoulders down, neck's long. Be aware of all of that and repetitions. Going back to that freedom, I mean, it's obvious for some people, but like, if you're not happy in your business, if you're not happy in your career, work on it, change it. If you're not happy with who you're hanging out with, where you're hanging out, what you're doing with your free time, work on it. All right, perfect push-ups is just the idea of forearms upright, elbows by your side, upper body comes over the forearm. Adjust those hips and knees so you can do that. As with anything like that, if it's too difficult, bring the knees in, bend the hips. If it's too easy, bring the knees back, straighten the hips. Forearms stay upright, elbows by your sides, upper body goes over your forearm. With the intention of eventually working that off your toes. Next thing on there is cardio blast, kickback. So kicking your butt, kicking your butt, kicking your butt. As you're doing that, really keep it up tall. Recognize we tend to have tight hip flexors from sitting a lot, so stretch that out. What is this? Up tall, draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone, slowly bring those knees back further. Stretch out the front of your hips, work your butt more, work the back of your legs more. Keep that going. So Michelle and Aisha and Tammy, so I'm thinking we're going to get to the end of this and then repeat some stuff. So I'm going to do that. Again, if you were teaching, you could start at the top, or you could just pick, hey, what can we work on again? But I'm going to ask you guys, like, what are we going to, which one are we going to repeat? Which one are we going to repeat? Which one are we going to repeat? Stretch your knee tucks is on there, so stretch your knee tucks. Yesterday. All right, slight bend in the knees. If you need to make it easier, bring those feet in. Butt stays up. Really work the bottom of your butt to do that. Bring that knee in tight. Bring that knee in tight. Do your best to keep your butts up as high as you can, really using your bottom of your butt to do that. Ideally, slight bend in the knees, but if you need to bring them in, bring them in. You guys are looking ahead, hopefully you figured out PU is push-up. Push-up position. Hip extension. So from the hips, flexion is forward, extension is backward. So from push-up position, hip extension is bringing that foot up. So you got it. Push-up position, hip extension. So with your belly in and hips level, Raise those legs as much as you can. If you're not thinking about the hips level and the belly in, you'll tend to arch your back, you'll tend to roll your hips. So have that awareness. Belly's in, so you're not arching your back, hips level, so you really work your belly against your butt. Work your left, work your right. For any guys that are going through the class plan and stuff like that. So Michelle, I'm going to ask you about the next one, but really big picture realizing like sometimes I ask questions not like if you don't know the answer, like that's fine. It's really for me to figure out what you know, what you need to know, and what I need to teach more too. So advice is good. Stand up. So Michelle, straight leg hip extension on one leg. What would that look like? So, yep. And then it says open up the hip. So up, yep, there's a flexion, and then open up the hip. Straight leg, hip flexion, open up the hip. Take your time with that. Work your left, work your right. Straight leg, flexion, open up the hip. Next round is penguin crunch, ribs to hip. I'm gonna get technical on some of that stuff. So like instructors, like a lot of times, and you can think about it anyway. A lot of times people say your hips, and layman's terms are hips. Reality, that's really your pelvis. Your hips are down here. So to realize that. So yes, I say take your ribs down your hip, but again, in layman's terms, yeah, there's my hips, but technically your hips are down here, your pelvis is there. Penguin crunch. Penguin crunches. So if you're being anatomically correct, take your ribs and crunch them down to your pelvis. Take your ribs and crunch them down to your pelvis. No, we're just working on great and getting better. And sometimes that's uncomfortable. All right, next one on there is seated rotation. So when you lead with your eyes, what happens to your range of motion? What happens when you wear glasses? If you're not aware of this, what happens to your range of motion when you wear glasses? It's shorter because you tend to stay in those frames. So even whether you wear them or not, like, okay, I'm gonna look past my frames for my motion. So, yeah, so seated rotation, lead with your eyes. So really look as far as you can. Look as far as you can. Really exhale everything you got. Have the awareness, keep the body up tall. For everybody, especially Michelle, really try to get your work on getting your head above your body. Stretch the top of your head up tall. And in doing that, you did what's very natural, and you put your face up instead of the top of your head. There you go. Bridge repetitions. Bridge repetitions. Feet close to your butt, butts on the ground. Every time, exhale, raise those hips, tuck your tailbone, draw your belly in, stretch out that low back every time. If your thighs are tighter, feel those stretch. If your hips are tighter, feel those stretch. Tuck the tailbone through the bottom of your glutes. Yeah, let me say that right. Bottom of your glutes, drive them through the front of your hips. Rock the pelvis back, stretch out your lower back. All right, have a seat. What aren't you telling who?
She told me I couldn't tell, so.
Okay. I won't dig any deeper. All right, so next round there, height variations. You can do a hold, you can do a pulse, and you can do walking forward on your fingertips. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. But if you can, go ahead, round your back for this one. If you can, straight legs, toes pointed. And close this up as much as you can. So close that up as much as you can. So you could hold it, or you could pulse it. And pulse it with the idea like you're trying to close this up. Close it up, close it up, close it up. All right, and walk it out on your fingertips is on your fingertips. Walk it out as far as you can. And the whole time you're trying to close it up, 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 close it up.
Oh my word. Yeah.
Relax.
Exactly.
All right. Last one on that class plan is from your back. Feet circles out, circles in, side to side. You've been here long enough. There's many tougher versions where you could go from no hands to forearms to your back. Today we're just going to go easy version from the back. Circle out.
Yeah, we are.
Circle in. And we could have had time to do the tougher version, but instead I'm gonna. So Aitza and Tammy, give us one more exercise each.
Ready?
Side after this, side to side. All right, Aisha, give me one.
Leg raise.
All right, leg raises.
Yes, very happy with you. I love you, buddy. I love you too. She was at pants at the smaller size, her fit. Can't hear you. There tonight.
All right, what's the last one for the workout today? Jamie?
Here.
The ups.
Oh my God. I didn't take it. Tina goes, if we throw it today, you better not pick that one. Do 5. Thank God tomorrow's out there before. Thank God. You're not, no thank you.
Stretch it out. Reach up. Reach up. There's spearmint in there today.
She told me, I smell juicy fruit, and she said that's no mint. I said, there ain't no mint juicy fruit.
What's that old Wrigley's commercial? Yeah, there's spearmint in there today. Bottom feet up in front. Michelle, how's your journal coming along?
I brought the journal. Where they look cute. Sitting on the bar.
One line, high fives.